Fox is sponsored by Gold's Gym.
8:15 now. This morning, we are training like an athlete. Fitness expert Patty Butrim from Gold's Gym is here with some power moves for us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so when we say we're training like an athlete, power moves, what does that mean?
Yes, so we're working on our explosive power in this first part here. So we're doing things quickly with weights, right? The first thing that I'm gonna do is a clean, and this is something that a lot of athletes do to train for things like the Super Bowl, football, soccer, that type of thing, right? So I'm gonna grab my kettlebell, it's next to my foot here. I'm grabbing it with that same hand, pulling up and flipping it, and I'm pressing it above my head as well. So I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible for a certain amount of time here to develop that explosive speed and power. And you can see how this is engaging all parts of my body, especially my core actually, because I'm having to keep everything in here really tight as I do this, or else I'm gonna get a little sloppy with my form, right?
And a kettlebell is something you need a little practice with because the way you're swinging that back, I mean, it can kind of get out of control if you don't have the practice.
You definitely want to control it, and once again, that move that I'm doing here is I'm pulling up and I'm flipping it over and pressing up here.
That's a good
one. So you do want to work on your agility with that. Another one that can help us with this same kettlebell is going to be an overhead press with a squat. Look how I'm holding it this time. My hand is not stabilizing it. I have to use my muscles in my arm and my core to keep this upright as I'm squatting down and pressing it over my head again. And I'm doing this with one arm as well to make it a little more difficult.
And what weight is that?
This guy's 10 pounds. I'd recommend starting with something light like this and moving your way up. One last one for your core as well are going to be kneeling halos. So I'm getting down on the ground here, and I'm keeping this really close to my head, doing halos here. And what I'm going to do is step up onto my feet and back down onto my knees, all while keeping this nice and close to my head, really working on that strength.
And that's going to get your arms, I mean, that doesn't
They're burning.
look like, it doesn't look like you're doing much until you try that and you feel that immediately. I could tell that was going to
that was feeling it in my legs too, And we're going to work on speed and agility next too.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, well, right now though, we need to get a check of our forecast. We've got meteorologist Jonathan Myers with a beautiful day out there for us.
With Fox is sponsored by Gold's Gym.
9:23, building strength and improving precision, just like an athlete. Fitness expert Patty Butrim from Gold's Gym is back with some active workouts, sure to make you feel like a winner. Good morning again.
Good morning.
All right, so when we talk about training and working like an athlete, what does that mean? What mindset is that?
So we worked on power a little bit before, and we're going to work on speed and agility because on the field, those are two things that you definitely need, right?
I like these drills. These are fun too.
These are fun. So I brought my ladder with me, and you can do this in a group or on your own. Just spread it out. One that I like to do is these lateral steps here, working on my precision. So I'm going to step in, step together, step out. That's it. Just trying to go as quickly as possible, getting my little hops in there. And another way that you can hit this guy is to do it from the front as well. So I'm going to step in and out as fast as I can, switching my feet here. And you'll see a lot of these in gyms, gym classes, things like that.
And so when you're doing that, you're working on agility, but it's also toning?
It is toning.
If you were on your,
I'm on the balls of my feet here. So it is toning as well. Even if you're not an athlete, this is a great workout too, to mix it up a little bit. I also have my little cones here. Now, if you're challenged for space and you might not be doing sprints to cones, right? If you have something like this little guy here, you can actually do lateral hops just in a small area of space. So I'm starting on one side, launching myself to the other, landing on those balls of my feet again, and once again, nice and toning too. And then another thing that I can do with these guys as well is if I set them up just like this, I can do a little bit more of agility with them as well. So I'm going to hop, and you can actually number these and have someone calling out a number, you know, cone 1, cone 4, and then it adds that element of surprise as well.
These would be good to do with your kids. Get them in, because I mean that's fun to them, and they'd be a little more familiar with this kind of equipment versus.
It is fun, and that's why they do bring them into a lot of gym classes and schools and things like that. And if you don't have any of this equipment, you can still work on your speed and agility with things like a grapevine. You know, I'm stepping forward, stepping back, stepping forward, stepping back. I do that nice and quickly.
Okay.
And I'm working on my speed and agility without any equipment too.
How often do you do this kind of thing?
Definitely at least twice a week.
Okay.
Especially if you are someone that sits at a desk for work or something like that. You want to make sure your conditioning is still good for life skills.
Does this also count as the cardio portion?
It does, and it's a lot more fun than maybe running on a treadmill for an
Right.
hour. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'd rather do something like this for 20 minutes, burn off some steam.
Right, this is a lot more fun. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, well, treating painkiller